Endocrine system. In this module, we are going to discuss about the topics: what is endocrine system, the different hormones secreted in the endocrine system, and the different kinds of endocrine glands, their location, functioning, and disorders. So let's get started. Endocrine system. It is a messenger system which comprises the feedback loops of the hormones released by the internal glands of an organism directly into the circulatory system. It regulates the distant target organs. These endocrine system, it performs different functions such as metabolism, growth and development, emotion and mood, fertility and sexual function, sleep and blood pressure. This endocrine system is studied through a process which is termed as endocrinology. It is the science which is concerned with the structure and function of the endocrine glands, its diagnosis and treatment of disorders of the endocrine gland is mainly termed as endocrinology. What is a hormone? Very minute quantities of chemical messengers which are secreted by the endocrine glands are termed as hormones. The word hormone, it was coined by two British scientists, namely Bayliss and Starling, in the year 1902. The word hormone, it is derived from a Greek word which means to excite. Chemically, hormones may be proteinaceous, peptides, steroids, or amino acid derivatives. These hormones, they perform different functions such as they control and regulate the metabolic activities and maintain homeostasis, control and regulate the morphogenic activities like growth, development, differentiation. It regulates the mental activity and also controls the maturation and regeneration. These hormones, they produce secondary sexual characters and regulate the reproductive activities. Endocrine glands. An organ that makes the hormones that are released directly into the blood and travel to the tissues and organs all over the body are termed as endocrine glands. As it doesn't contain any duct in it, so they are termed as ductless glands. They release their secretion, that is the hormones, directly into the bloodstream. The different types of endocrine glands which are present in a human body are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, testis, ovary. As shown in the picture also. So let's discuss about these different types of endocrine glands, their location, functioning, and the disorders. First, pituitary gland. It is a small, red-grey, P-shaped gland, and it is attached to the hypothalamus of the brain by a stalk-like structure which is termed as infundibulum. Seeing the structure, pituitary glands, it contains mainly three parts. First, anterior pituitary. Second, intermediate lobe. And thirdly, the posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary gland, it secretes mainly 6 hormones. So let's discuss about these 6 hormones and their function. First, growth hormone, that is GH. It regulates the protein metabolism and growth of the bones. Second, LTH, lutotrophic hormone, which is also named as prolactin. It controls the development of the milk glands. Third, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. It stimulates the thyroid glands to secrete the thyroxine hormone. Fourth, ACTH, adrenocorticotrophic hormone. It stimulates the secretion of adrenal cortex hormone. Fifth, follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. It stimulates the spermatogenesis in male, growth of ovarian follicle in female, and also induces testosterone. And the last hormone which is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland is LH, that is luteinizing hormone. It helps in the ovulation and secretion of the estrogen and progesterone in females. This pituitary gland is sometimes termed as master gland of the body, as it controls the functioning of most of the other endocrine glands by secretion of the trophic hormones which are prolactin, TSH, ACTH, FSH and LH. The surgical removal of this pituitary gland from the body, it is termed as HYPOPHYSECTOMY. Now let's discuss about some of the disorders which are caused due to the oversecretion or undersecretion of the hormones which are secreted through the pituitary gland. First is Dwarfism. Dwarfism is a hyposecretion of growth hormone from childhood which leads to the slower growth of the bones and other body organs. In this condition, the person remains short saturated. As shown in this picture also, this is the picture of the dwarfism. This dwarfism, it is also named as midget or pituitary nanism. The second condition is gigantism. It is the oversecretion of the growth hormone from the childhood which results into the extraordinary growth of the bone lumps. As shown in this picture, this is the extraordinary positioning of the long bones there of the gigantism, due to which the affected person attains an extraordinary height while all the other body parts are in proportion. The third disorder is acromegaly. It is the oversecretion of the growth hormone after adulthood, which leads to the disproportionate growth of the bones of the hands, feet, cheek and jaw. In this condition, the affected person, it develops a large nose and thick lips. As shown in this picture also, this person is having a large nose and thick lips. One more disorder is found due to the secretion of the hormones, that is diabetes insipidus. It is caused due to the undersecretion of the vasopressin hormone. In this condition, a large amount of urine is produced which leads to the dehydration and the person feels thirsty all the time. The next gland is thyroid gland. It is the largest endocrine gland which is about 25 grams in weight. It lies on the ventral and lateral sides of the trachea just below the larynx in the neck. It is the brownish-red butterfly-shaped bi-lobed gland as shown in the picture also. This thyroid gland, it secretes mainly two hormones, thyroxine and calcitonin. The thyroxine hormone, it regulates the oxidation of the food, the basal metabolic rate, differentiation and metamorphosis. The basal metabolic rate is the rate of cellular oxidation which results in the heat production when the body is at rest. The thyroxine also controls the body weight. The second hormone which is secreted is calcitonin. It regulates the calcium and phosphate level in the blood. It increases the calcium deposition in the bones and it also checks the osteoporosis. Now let's discuss about some of the disorders due to the hyposecretion or hypersecretion of the thyroxine hormone. First is the cretinism. The hyposecretion of thyroxine hormone in children due to the early atrophy or defective development. It causes cretinism. The common symptoms are low metabolic rate, retarded growth, and sexual development and retarded mental development. The second disorder is myxedema, which is also named as Gull's disease. It is the hyposecretion of the thyroxine in adults. In such condition, the facial tissue swells and it looks puffy. As shown in this picture, we can see the facial expression, facial tissues are swelled up here. It is followed by slow heart rate, low body temperature, sensitivity to cold, general lethargy and weight gain. This hypoxedema, it is mainly common in the females. The third disorder is simple goitre. The iodine deficiency in food, it leads to the enlargement of the thyroid glands to absorb more iodine. The iodine deficiency can be corrected by adding the iodine in the diet, like we can use the iodized salt to just recover this deficiency. The next category of the disorder is the Graves' disease, which is also named as exophthalmic goiter. Here, the hypersecretion of the thyroxine it leads to the Graves' disease. It causes the increased rate of heartbeat, increased metabolism, increased appetite, loss of weight, protrusion of the eyeballs, high blood pressure, and high sweating. Next gland is the adrenal gland. Adrenal glands are located above the kidney. They are fixed like a cap over these glands. The adrenal gland, it contains two parts mainly. The outermost part, it is termed as cortex, and the middle area, it is termed as medulla. These hormones which are secreted by the adrenal cortex are aldosterone, which is also named as mineralocorticoid. Second hormone is cortisol, which is termed as glucocorticoid, and the third hormone which is secreted by adrenal cortex area is the 6-corticoid, which is also named as adrenal androgen. While the hormones which are secreted by the adrenal medulla area are emergency hormones, which are adrenaline and noradrenaline. These are termed as emergency hormones, due to which these adrenal glands are also termed as gland of emergency. The functions of the adrenal glands are: the glucocorticoid hormone, it regulates the carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism. The mineralocorticoid hormone, it controls the salt and water metabolism. The 6-corticoid hormones, they produce the accessory sex characters. Thus, adrenaline and noradrenaline, that is the emergency hormones, these hormones increases the metabolism in emergency cases by increasing the heartbeat, blood pressure, respiratory rate, blood sugar level. This adrenaline is known as the emergency hormone. It is secreted in the large amount of the time of the emergency. It helps to face the physical stress like fall in the blood pressure or blood sugar, muscular exertions like dance and running, pain, cold, injury, and emotional stress like anger, fear, and grief. At that time, this emergency hormone, that is adrenaline, is secreted. Now let's discuss about some of the disorders which are caused due to the hypo or hypersecretion of the adrenaline glands hormones. So first we are going to discuss about the hyposecretion effect of the hormones. So the first disorder is the Addison's disease. It is caused due to the undersecretion of mineralocorticoid hormone. The most common symptoms are low blood sugar, that is hypoglycemia condition, low plasma sodium ion, high plasma sodium potassium ion, and nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Now let's discuss some of the hypersecretion effects. In this, the first disorder is Cushing syndrome, causing due to the oversecretion of the glucocorticoid. The common symptoms are moon-shaped face, high blood sugar in urine, that is hyperglycemia, obesity, hypertension, buffalo lump on the back, and hanging abdomen, as shown in the picture also. The next disorder of the hypersecretion is CONTT syndrome, which is also named as aldosteronism. It is caused due to the oversecretion of the mineralocorticoid hormone. The common symptoms are high plasma sodium, low plasma potassium ion, high blood sugar pressure due to retention of water in the blood, muscular weakness, cramps, and paralysis. The third disorder is adrenalism. It appears in the some of the male characters in females. The excess secretion of the androgen in the female, it produces the male secondary sexual characters like beard, mustaches, hoarse voice, underdeveloped breast, lack of menstruation, temporal baldness, degeneration of uterus and the ovaries. As shown in the picture also, the characters are clearly visible. The mustaches and the beard is properly visible in the lady. The next gland which is found is the pancreas. Pancreas, they are located just below the stomach in the loop of duodenum of the small intestine. It is flattened, almost triangular in shape, as shown in the picture also. These pancreas, they contain two types of secretory structures. One, acinine, and second is islet of Langerhans, which are present in the connective tissues of the pancreas. These islet of Langerhans, they contain three types of cells. First, alpha cells, which secrete glucagon hormone. This glucagon, it converts the glycogen into glucose whenever there is decrease in the glucose level in the blood. It is also controls the nutrient absorption into blood. The second cell which is present in the is beta cells. These beta cells, they secrete the insulin hormone, which converts the glucose to glycogen in liver and the muscle cells. This hormone controls the carbohydrate metabolism. The third cell which is present in the islet of Langerhans is the gamma cells. They secrete the somatostatin hormone, which is a growth hormone inhibiting hormone. It inhibits the secretion of both glucagon and insulin. Now let's discuss some of the disorders. First disorder is diabetes mellitus. It is caused due to the deficiency of the insulin. In this disease, the liver and the muscle cells are unable to convert the excess of the glucose into glycogen, due to which there is increase in the blood sugar level. This condition is termed as hyperglycemia, in which the sugar soon appears in the urine. The person suffering from hyperglycemia passes out very large amount of urine which is loaded with sugar at short intervals, due to which the patient feels thirsty. The loss of weight is observed. Such patients are given insulin injections to control the glucose level, but it's not a cure. If a glucose level falls too low, then person may enter into coma state or may become unconscious. But if an overdose of insulin is given to the diabetic patient, then the patient becomes unconscious. This condition is termed as hypoglycemia or insulin shock. In such case, a prompt bite of sweet biscuits, sugar candy or chocolates are really very helpful for the patient. Next gland is the testis gland. Testes are a pair of oval organ enclosed in a thin pouch of skin called scrotum. Each testis weighs about 10 to 15 grams. Testis gland, it secretes the testosterone hormone. The main function of this gland is to secrete the testosterone, which is a primary male sex hormone, and the testes also are responsible for sperm production. The hypersecretion of the testosterone, it may cause the excess facial and body hair, aggression and infertility. Due to frequent use of anabolic steroids or testosterone supplementation, it causes hypersecretion problem. The hyposecretion of testosterone may cause fatigue and mood changes. The low testosterone can make it difficult to get or maintain exertions. The main cause of low testosterone is injuries like trauma, infection of the testes, chemotherapy for cancer, metabolic disorders like too much iron intake, dysfunction or tumors of the pituitary glands. Next gland is the ovary gland. Ovaries are the pair of almonds shaped and sized, one on either side of the median line. Each ovary is attached with a black wall with the help of mesovarium and with uterus. The ovary glands, they produce two main sex hormones, that is progesterone and estrogen. Ovary glands, they perform two main reproductive functions in the body. First, they produce oocytes, that is the eggs for fertilization, and secondly, they produce reproductive hormones, namely estrogen and progesterone. The hypersecretion of estrogen, it may cause weight gain mainly in the waist, hips and thigh area. The menstrual problems like very light or very heavy bleeding, non-cancerous breast lumps, non-cancerous tumors in the uterus, fatigue, and loss of sex drive. The hyposecretion of estrogen, it may cause increase in the urine tract infection, that is UTI, due to a very thinning of the urethra. Irregular or absent periods, shifts in the mood, the breast tenderness, headache or attention of pre-existing migraine, and depression. These are some of the causes, some of the cases which are seen due to the hypersecretion and hyposecretion of the estrogen. Questions based on the topic endocrine system. So test yourself.